Hey, this is Ms. Ship from Colleton County High School, and this is a short video on how to find arc length. Let's first begin by reviewing a concept that you already know, and that's perimeter. If I want to find the perimeter of all four sides of a square, I would add up those sides. So let's say that you have been given the perimeter is 24 inches. Now, find the length of one side. We know that all four sides are congruent. So if all four sides are congruent, then each side must be 6 inches. Now, how do we know that? Well, if all four sides are congruent, you take your 24 inches, divide by 4 sides, and each side is 6 inches. Now, essentially what we have done is we have taken 1/4 of the square and multiplied by the perimeter and gotten 6. So let's apply the same concept to find arc length. Now, here's my circle. I have an 80-degree angle, which means the measure of the arc is also 80 degrees. So the measure of the arc is 80 degrees, not to be confused with arc length, which would be if I start at A and I walk all the way around to B, that is my arc length. Now, your book gives you this wonderful little formula. Arc length is the measure of the arc, or A, divided by 360 times 2 pi r. Now, we could memorize this formula, or we could simply remember the process. So in the square, we knew the entire perimeter, and we took 1/4 of the perimeter. So let's say we knew the entire circumference here, and we took this amount of the circumference. So let's find the circumference. Circumference is 2 pi r. In this situation, pi is 5. Or excuse me, r is 5. So 2 times pi times 5 centimeters, of course. So we break out our handy-dandy calculator. So we want to use the exact pi. So 2 times second pi times r. And we have 31.4. So this is the entire distance around. Now, we only want this portion. Well, how do we find a fraction? Well, 80 degrees of the circle. Total circle, 360. Let's simplify this for easy calculation. Divide both by 10. We'll get rid of those zeros. Both are divisible by 4, so we're left with 2/9. So we want 2/9 of the entire circumference. So 2/9 times our circumference, which is 31.4 centimeters. Divided by 9 times 31.4. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 divided by 9, not 3. .9 with the 7 repeating. The 7 rounds up the 9, which rounds up the 6. So we're looking at 7 centimeters. So that is your arc length difference, centimeters versus degrees. Now let's back up this nice long formula that we could memorize. Here, 2 pi r, we found that. That was circumference, which was our distance around. That was 31.4. Now what about this a over 360? Well, our a was our angle, 80 degrees over 360. We reduced that to 2/9. Multiply them together and we get 7 centimeters. So we can memorize this formula if you want to memorize a bunch of formulas, or learn the process. I prefer learning the process.